Hi everyone. Today's video is just a quick update really on the videos I did recently giving you a tour of my craft studio. Since then I've brought in loads more stuff basically. You know what it's like, can't stop buying things. I also, because I work for SSS doing their TV shows, I'm constantly receiving new dies and I have to find space for them. So this has meant I've had to have a bit of a rejig because particularly my thin dies, I'd run out of space in the clear storage units that I put them in. So I've had to buy 2 more of those, and that meant I had to reorganise everything to find space to put those. So that's the first thing. The second thing is this is a bit of a work in progress really, but my big dies are stored underneath this kitchen island that I'm sat at. There's a shelf at the front and they're all there, and I've still got space for more, but because I'm piling more and more on there, they are kind of double layered, so I have to keep shifting some to see what's at the back. And I've got them loosely in categories, but I think I need probably to put them in alphabetical order or do something there. But for the meantime, what I've done is I've taken all the paper inserts from the packaging that shows you the finished sample. I've put those into a bit of a catalogue system, so I'll show you what I've done there, and I'm hoping that's just going to help me remember what I've got, and when I do need a particular die it'll help me find it a bit easier. Long term I think I probably do need to put them in an alphabetical order, but for now this is what I'm doing. And then the last thing is I've just recently bought this Cricut machine behind me. It works perfectly well here because I can pull it forwards when I need to put the mats in, and the plug socket's right behind it, and I think it looks okay, but I probably need to reorganise the other stuff on here because I've got like lovely vintage buttons behind it and you can't see them now, so I probably need to just rejig that space a bit. So that's kind of where I'm at. Now I must say, although this shed is full of stuff, I also have I rent a storage unit down the road, and it's just 5 minutes drive away, and I keep stuff in there that I don't necessarily need in here. I keep all my finished samples from the TV shows, because obviously quite often we'll revisit dies, or particularly at the end of the year we might have sale shows where we'll bring back dies that we've already had on previous shows. So of course, to save duplicating work, I can go and grab the previous finished samples that I made. So I keep all those in boxes down there, and then I also keep extras. I tend to buy like my white cardstock in bulk. Well, I probably only need a couple of packs in here, but I don't ever want to run out of that basic stuff like that. So I keep all that down there, and I also keep the wheelie bags. I have these great big heavy duty, they're like makeup cases that I put all my stuff in when I'm doing shows. I keep those down there, and I just pop and get them when I'm doing shows, so that I try and keep the clutter down in here, because I am a bit of a neat freak and I like my room to look tidy and nice. I do put as much as I can down there just to save this getting cluttered. So let me switch my camera around and I'll show you exactly how I've updated my die storage. So let's look at the Cricut machine first of all. You can see I've got this shelf at the back of my craft area. I've got all my pens stored here. You've seen all this before in my previous videos. And I've put my Cricut machine here because I have got a handy plug socket. I do like my lovely jar of antique buttons though, so I might have to find somewhere else to put that because it's now blocked. And also if I move that, I could push this back even further actually, so that's going to be a good solution. And for now, the easy press that I bought for doing vinyl t-shirts is just living under there. I think that's okay for it now, it's not too messy there. The other thing I've had to accommodate actually while we're looking is Sizzix have brought out festive colours of the cardstock. Now the Sizzix sheets do come in A4, but I cut them in half because I'm generally die cutting, usually with the standard size Big Shot. It's handy to have them cut in half so that they're the same size as the plate. Makes it quicker for me. I don't cut all of it in half because obviously sometimes if you are using larger dies you might need an A4 sheet, so I always keep a whole pack of A4 stored as well. but for day to day I keep them here in A5 size. And we've brought out new festive colours, so I've had to add an extra one here with those. And what I do is I create a laminated tab for each one, then I can just top these up as I run low on each colour. So I've got the new festive colours here, these are the neutrals, and then these are the original coloured set. So those are right behind me while I work, so obviously I'm grabbing those all the time. And then I've got a new Sizzix mat there, so that's just living there because I have my Tim Holtz glass mat on my desk, but I do grab this when I'm filming actually, because the glare off the glass mat is a pain for filming. So that's primarily what I use this one for actually. Now the main thing I've had to really make a bit more space for is more Thinlet dies. I'll pop a picture on now actually of how this looked before. So you can see from that before picture that they were a bit messy because you could kind of see what was, you know, you could see the first one on each one, and I didn't like that. So I wanted something that was a bit neater. Also, you'll notice from that photo, before I just had all of the top row and then just one of the second row. So I had 5 cubbies full of stamps and dies. Now I've got 6 because I bought 2 more of these clear plastic holders because I'd run out of space. So I still need to reorganise this a bit. I'm not entirely happy with how it is. But the good thing is I've actually got an empty cubby down here now because I've reorged everything else. I've got my books at the top there, and those are scrapbook size cards. Those could potentially go somewhere else. So I'm thinking if I need to, I could fill both of these top rows, giving me 8 for one side. So I've got space to expand a bit if I move those out. So what I did, I kept the top row for stamps. My stamps are stored by manufacturer mostly, for where I have got a lot from a particular company. However, then I have got some sections. I've got a various section for, you know, if I've only got 1 or 2 sets from a company, I just pop them in there. I've also got a section for Christmas. Then I've got one for planner stamps and a section for sentiment strips, because I do tend to buy a lot of these kind of sentiment strip type dies. And obviously if you're looking for a sentiment, you might not remember which company, so I keep those all together as well. So that's my stamps. And what I did is I cut some card to go in the front in rainbow order, and I used my Cricut to create some vinyl so that I've got stamps and dies in the front. I think it looks much neater, and I'm quite happy with this system now, because when you look at the shelf, I think it looks quite nice because I've got my paper underneath in rainbow order as well, so it all kind of goes. Now I am wondering whether I've done this the wrong way round, because I probably use my dies more than my stamps, so I am wondering whether I need to switch these and put the dies on the top shelf, because it's kind of a more easy height to flip through. I've got to sort of stoop a bit for the second row, so I may end up switching those round. But you can see here I have got a whole empty container. So I've got, well, that will probably take about a year to fill, going on my past speed of filling these. When I started working for Sizzix, all my dies were pretty much in one container. This one here is non-Sizzix dies. These are all my other dies. The rest are all Sizzix. So I've been with Sizzix 4 years, I think now. 1, 2, 3. Yes, I filled 4. So I've probably got enough. This will probably last me for another year before I need to then buy more containers. So my Sizzix dies are all stored now in sections, and I've put them in alphabetical order. Before they were just in different categories, like I've got alphas, I've got animals, flowers. They were just loosely in those sections before. But when I reorganised them this time, I've gone further, because if you look, you know, these are all floral stamp dies. So it actually was taking me a long time to find sets, so I've gone a bit further and now these are in alphabetical order. And I've done the same with some of my stamp companies as well. Say, for example, Tracy Hay. I've got a lot of Tracy Hay sets now, and I've put those in alphabetical order to make them easier. Same with Simon Says Stamp. I've got almost a full container of those, so those are also in alphabetical order as well. So that's my thin dies and my stamps. And the other thing that I've had a bit of a sort out with, I'll just take you round to show you my big dies. These are all stored on the bottom shelf here. Now they're kind of, the standard size big dies are kind of coming into double layers now. So there's another die behind those ones. This is making it a little bit harder to find sets. They're loosely in categories. I've kind of got all my florals together. Behind that, I've got one that's all animals. Then I've got the different size dies. So I've got the ones that only fit in the plus here. I've only got a few of those. These are the longer XL dies. And then I've sort of loosely got Tim Holtz ones together. I think I probably need to go a bit further, and perhaps with the standard size big dies, maybe I need to then put them into alphabetical order. I don't know, because I am getting quite a few now and I'm kind of having to pull them all out every time I need anything. But what I have done is, I'll show you the books I've put together. Before now, I'd kept all the packaging just in a drawer, because sometimes you do kind of need to refer back to the packaging to look at the finished design. So what I've done is I've made myself 2 books. I've used my Mambi planner punch just with some white card to create my own books. These are the discs that you get with the Me and My Big Ideas planners. I use one of those every year, so of course I accumulate the discs from previous years, because I don't keep the planners once the year's finished. I throw them out, but I always keep the discs, and that means I can make my own books with them. So I have categorised these, which I'm hoping will make it a bit easier to find my big dies when I need them. So I've got all my florals together. Then I've got foliage stamps, dies, because I've got a few of those. And animals. And as I say, I might need to go a bit further with the actual dies on the shelf and put them in alphabetical order, because I am getting quite a lot of each. So I've actually filled 2 of these. So this one's got miscellaneous. See, I've got tons of different designs. And then I've got all my Eileen Hell books and things. For some of these are mostly just stuck straight down. I probably won't be able to find one now, but where there are some sort of instructions on the back, I've just stuck it along the top so I can still lift it up and read the other side. I won't be able to find one now, I'm saying it, but there are a couple of dies where you kind of need to see the other side, so that's how I've got round that. And I'm hoping this is just going to make it a little bit easier for me to keep all these together. As I say, I probably at some point need to actually go through the dies and put them in alphabetical order to help me find them. But for now, this is what I'm working with. So I hope you've enjoyed that little update. It probably won't be long before I need to do another one, the rate I get stuff in. But I hope that's helped, particularly if you're like me, you're struggling a bit with dies and stamp storage. So thanks ever so much for watching. I'll put details of the products that I have used in the description box on YouTube, and I will hopefully catch you soon. Thanks again for watching. Bye.